Hello, and thank you for watching the video on how to walk or run your dog using a bicycle. The first thing you'll need is a bicycle and a dog, obviously. So, with that being said, to do this, you have to be pretty adept at riding a bike, being fairly confident in how you can ride, turn, brake, balance, all that stuff. If you're kind of new to riding a bike and trying to do this, you may want to ride a bike some more because it is a little bit more advanced than what you think it might be since you have an animal pulling you. The kind of dog you have is going to dictate what kind of run you're going to have when you're riding the bike. So if you have a dog that's not reactive, it'll be pretty boring. You'll just cruise along and won't pay attention to any other dogs or any other people along the route. It'll just be happy-go-lucky. Now, if you have a dog that's reactive, that can make it a little more exciting. I mean, if a dog's reactive to other dogs, he's going to see dogs as he's going by, possibly people, possibly wildlife. These are things that you have to be prepared for as someone that is in control of this bike and the dog all at the same time. Along this video, I will tell you how I handle some situations that work for me. Will they work for you? I don't know. Each situation is different as per an individual. But I'll tell you how I handle it and what has worked for me and my dogs. If you're going to do this, you need to have some safety equipment. So we'll go over that. I'll show you how the leash is attached to the bike. I'll show you what other safety equipment I have on the bike. And we will go from there. Alright, a little explanation before we get too far into the video why I use a girl's bike. This is my wife's bike. I've been using this for 3 years to run the black and white dog, and I have just found it's easier to get on and off if in case you have to stop in a hurry because another dog is coming, a situation has arisen. It's easier to jump off. You don't have to worry about hindering yourself. And the next bike I'm using, which you see on the video, is also a girl's bike because I like that functionality of the bike. Before we do this tutorial, a couple of things you should do while you walk your dog to get them prepared for being next to a bike. Obviously, start teaching them to go left and right. As you walk up to a corner, you want to go right, just start telling them right, right. And if you want to go left, tell them left, left. So you may have to switch up your walk a bit to get them to learn both directions. And also you're going to want to teach them to slow down, and stop. And then if you want to give them a command after that, like sit, you can do that. Now you got to be prepared because the dogs, they may want to run, they may want to go. So you got to be prepared for some speed. You get a good dog, he can get you up to 20, 25 miles an hour. Not for a long time, but he can get you there. So be prepared to go fast. Faster than most people can actually have done on their bike. And this is why you have to teach them to go left, right, and slow down. As you can see, these guys like to go. All right, so let's start with the bike. As we walk around the front of the bike and come to the seat where the leash is attached, you can see that the leash is attached to the frame of the bike here. Did that so what I can do is the leash is firmly attached to the bike, but if I need to shorten the leash, you got two options. You can put some knots in it, which I do have, or it's steady there and you can wrap it around the seat post and shorten it up to get the dog closer to you if you need to get the dog closer. If you need to make it a little longer, you can just unwind it. That's step one. That is just a regular leash that I got from the pet store. And then because I have two dogs, I have a short leash that I attach to it. That way I'm capable of walking two dogs at once, and it works fairly well. When you attach the leash to the bike, you want to get it near the seat post mount That way it's towards the center of the bike. If you have it too far forward, let's say towards the handlebars, the dogs are going to pull you all over the place. If it's centered, you'll have more control. And try to keep the dogs on the right hand side. That way they're out of traffic. You don't want your dogs near traffic because people will see you, but they may not see your dogs. All right, as we walk our way around the back of the bike, you can see I got a red light for the rear so I can ride at night. Got a little bag back there that just carries a bunch of plastic bags to pick up after the dogs. Up front, got a light. And then to let people know that you're coming in case they don't see you, you got a bell. Sorry, but I'm gonna have to overdub this because the mic did not do a good job. But here's a helmet. Recommend wearing a helmet to save your head. This is the harness that I use. It's made by Hunterbo. I got it off Amazon. It has 3 different loops. The normal 2, plus it's got a back one that goes around their belly. That way they can't escape out of it. Comes in handy if your dog likes to chase wildlife. And this is something that I highly recommend. Getting a high visibility vest helps people see you because most people are paying more attention to their cell phone than they are you driving in traffic. Every little bit helps here. All right, here is the first step to doing this after you get your dog attached to the leash, which is attached to the bike. Step 1, walk between the dog and the bicycle. For how long? Don't know. You'll have to read your dog. How are they reacting to walking next to a bicycle? Some dogs take a while, other ones get it pretty quick. Not all dogs are the same. Once you feel that the dog is pretty confident being walked next to the bicycle, go ahead and switch sides. Go on the other side of the bike. That way he's next to the bike, nothing in between, and walk him some more. See how his reaction is. It may take a while. Now this is a little bit different perspective here. The reason is so I can show you what the step 3 is once the dog is comfortable walking next to a bike. So when we get there, I'll show you why. Now we're getting ready to go to step 3. Put the foot that you're going to pedal with on the left side, which will be your left foot. Now what you're going to do is you're going to use your right foot and kick yourself off while standing on the pedal and holding onto the handlebars. And you're just going to glide. Let the dog run next to the bike, walk next to the bike, but you're just going to glide with your left foot on the left pedal and just to see what the dog's reaction is. Just to break him in slowly. Just kick with your right leg, left foot on the pedal, and you just glide. We got coaster brakes. Sometimes they get in a bad position and you step on it, wants to slow it down, so you got to walk it around to a better position. That way it will glide, not applying the brake. And once the dog is ready, you can easily put your foot through the frame of the bike. You can start pedaling. Now, if you've never done this coasting method before, I suggest practicing it quite a bit before you attempt to do it with your dog, because if the dog decides to pull you over, it can end in disaster. And now we're ready to get on the bike and ride away. All right, now we're going to get into a couple techniques here. One of the most common ones is the leash is going to get caught under your pedal while you're riding. One, if it does that, just lift your foot off. Sometimes it's dog's pretty close and you can't get out. You're going to want to lift your foot off and then turn away, turn left, turn away from the dog, and it'll get you clear. You can get back to pedaling. If you like this content, be sure to share, subscribe, and like. Thank you. I'd much appreciate it. All right, here's another technique. The dog's getting a little aggressive, maybe sees another dog or human, you need to get him back. You can stick your leg out, get it against the leash. You can push the dog back and you can straighten him out, her out, to where you will have more control of the dog. With the next technique, you'll see why I like using a girl's bike. It's easier to dismount and you don't have to worry about hurting yourself. Maybe we're slowing down, the dog isn't moving as fast. If you have something coming at you, you can get off the side with the dog. You can use the bike kind of as a defense to separate you from the other dog. Now, if your dog is pulling you because it wants to go off something, go the other way, and you can use the bike against the street. The tires will help. It'll help. They might be able to pull it, but it'll help. It helps keep control until the problem has passed. Now, if you happen to be riding and he's moving at a pretty good clip, you can use the dog's speed to your advantage. And if they start going after something, let them run. And then as they start going towards it, turn the bike away, and the bike and the momentum will help pull the dog away and get you clear of where you need to be. The next situation is I don't ride with earmuffs or ear pads or anything like that. I ride so I can hear what's going on around me, and I can hear that a car is coming up behind me. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and dip in right here to the right so the car can pass, and there she goes. She was definitely in a rush. Most people are. That's why you got to be aware of your situation. I recommend not listening to music or your AirPods when you're riding with the dog. Pay attention to your dog. They'll let you know what's going on. They have more awareness than you do since they can hear, smell, and see better than any of us. So pay attention to your dog. They will often let you know if something's going on or something's coming up. Pay attention. Here's where that speed part gets in. Dogs can get up to about 20-25 miles an hour, so be ready to go. When I take my dogs out for their run, I just do it in the neighborhood where most people live, houses on both sides of the street. I do have one street that we do have to cross, which is just a little bit bigger street, but it doesn't have a whole lot of traffic. I wouldn't recommend going on boulevards because it's just, you're about as wide as a car with the dogs. And try to keep them to the right, keep them out of traffic. And if another thing to practice while you're doing this is doing quick stops and telling the dogs to stop, stop, stop while you're stopping. In this picture here, you see the bike I've used previously and the bike that I will soon be using. The little blue bike has coaster brakes, and with those two dogs going, if I had to stop, I started overheating the coaster brake. So I had to upgrade to this orange bike here, which is more of a high performance model. It's a hybrid bike. It's got hand brakes, thinner tires, so it's easier to roll down the road, and I'll be making videos in the future with this bike. Now, if you're looking for a bike to do this with, I would suggest getting a bike that's a little bit smaller than maybe the one that you'd really feel comfortable on. A little bit smaller bike will help you have more control over situations and speed. So that's what this little orange bike is. It's a step down from probably what I need, but it is much easier to ride with the dogs pulling me and I'm having control. All right, thank you for watching and having a great day. See you soon. Bye.